Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hot Poll Podcast. I'm Adam Steele, and joining me this week is my old co-host, Christian Taylor, and his other half, Nick. Hello.
Hi.
Thought we'd have something a bit different this week. How are you?
Oh, we're both good. Yourself?
Can't complain.
Sat with me, bro. I'm happy.
Yep, I've got my old-fashioned, so yes, can't complain. It's been a busy old week. But busy is good as ever. Finished a mix earlier today, and I've got another few mixes coming, and lots of stuff is arriving at the studio as ever. Hopefully tomorrow I should have a pair of Adam Audio S2V speakers turning up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're kind of not quite the biggest in the world, but kind of chunky.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to give them a try and see what I think of them and give them an honest review.
Awesome.
Because they are significantly larger than the A7Xs that I've got.
Yeah, so is it much more in depth, or is it just a bigger, like, a general?
All of it, really. They are larger, they are kind of higher spec, they do a lower end bass. The idea being I might not need the subs.
Right, okay.
Which means if all the low end's coming at me from the same place that the mid and the high end's coming at me from, I'm thinking that might make it more accurate.
Yeah.
And so that's the question, really, of the video is a pair of near-field monitors and subwoofer as good as, like, high-quality midfields?
Yeah.
So,
well, are these going to be more towards full range?
Well, that's the idea, yeah. But you don't want to go for, like, far-field speakers in the room I've got, because I've got, you know, a modestly sized control room, but it's not, like, big studio territory. Yeah. And
hi, Liam. He's on Facebook.
Yes. Hello, everyone in chat. Welcome. Good to see you all. Come in. File in, find yourselves a seat. Try not to sit too near anybody else. You know, social distancing and all that.
No social distancing.
You two are very much in the same social bubble. You two were due to be married this week, I believe.
Last Saturday.
Yep.
Just gone.
So that is still happening, but just because of situation, just not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll happen when it happens.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be awesome when that does happen. But for reasons that's yeah,
stupid COVID.
Yes, indeed. So coming up this week, Waves have just dropped V12. It feels like they only dropped V11 about 3 weeks ago. And it's got a couple of new updates. Peavey have relaunched a new product, an old product, which I'll talk about at the time. Presoners are trying their best to kill AVB instead of Dante, which I like. There's a weird new touch filter sensor thing that looks like it's made out of tartan. Cranbourne Audio have got a new preamp, which looks cool. And there's always Behringer Corner. Let's roll the intro. And so, yes, what a heck of a week it's been. If I look rather tired today, it's because twice this week I have been woken up at 4 a.m. by a child that wants to jump up and down on us and climbing out of bed.
Oh dear.
Go Ivy.
It's like having a dog, but you're not really allowed to put it in a cage.
Well,
it doesn't get any easier.
No, I suppose not. It's just
we're at the teenage stage now where he wants to stay up all night and doesn't want to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started that at 14 and stopped when I was 27.
Yeah, exactly. So
we've got living here till 27. Not a chance.
Oh, I wasn't still at home at that point, but yeah, that was my night owl habit, for better or for worse.
No.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's been keeping me awake. And also, yeah, I've been trying desperately to put plans in motion I am trying to get a new effects pedal made.
Okay.
Not necessarily like mass production. I firstly want to see if it's. I know it's possible, the thing that I want to do, because there are options out there, but I've contacted a few pedal builders that I know, and it generally seems that pedal builders right now are incredibly busy because they've been very successful because everybody's been trapped at home. They want to improve their pedal boards.
Yeah, exactly. It's very much Joe, the course and everything hit where everyone was at the peak of being at home and
Yeah.
probably rediscovering old hobbies and stuff like that. So
Yes.
I bought you that pedal. You still haven't made that.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Tells me anything.
We're all working on a lot of stuff. I was supposed to
Yeah.
recap the BBC preamps, and I've not got around to that because there's a list this long. And Liam will tell you if Liam's in chat. We've started, me and Liam, sorting out all the things that I have to do. And every time he calls me to ask me if I've done something, I say, I'm still working on it. Here's another 4 things to go on the list.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's the story of my life right now. But yeah, this pedal idea, I think you'll appreciate this as a bass player, Chris. That there's kind of the modern studio bass tone. It's usually separate low end, separate high end. And quite often you'll get the low end and you might just compress it a bit but keep it clean. The high end you'll do whatever with it. Make it interesting, make it your own. Bring them back together. Why can't we do that live? So that's what I've been looking at. So there are some pedals out there, crossover pedals, where you put one signal in, bass signal, and you get 2 out, low and high. And I'm trying to get someone to make that in a guitar form factor for me, because a couple of them have existed, but either they're really big, they do loads of stuff that I don't need, which makes them really expensive, or the company doesn't seem to be around anymore.
Yeah. It's so you're essentially doing a crossover into two different kind of pedal preamps, I'm guessing, or two different pedal aspects.
Possibly. Yeah. Well, it gives you outputs then to do 2 different things with it.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is have separate low and separate high with like a knob so you can determine where it cuts off.
Yeah.
So you can either have like half and half, or you can have just the sub stuff going out separately, or whatever, however you want to do it. Having the controls there gives you, make it your own. And then what I'm thinking is kind of like a follow-up pedal. So at the end, have one that's got 2 inputs, and but with kind of level knobs, and one of them with a phase flip. So just in case one of the pedals or whatever you've used has flipped the phase and cancels everything, you can just fix it.
Right. Okay.
But that's
all in one housing.
So 2, like one for one side of the board, one for the other side of the board.
Right.
And that way, by doing it as 2 pedals, that's what I'm thinking. By doing it as 2 pedals, if you don't need them both, you don't have to buy them both.
Right.
Neither of them is particularly expensive by the way that I'm thinking about it. But that way, if you just want one that splits and you don't want to combine them, you can send the 2 signals off to 2 amps or 2 inputs on your interface if you're recording at home or whatever you want to do. But if you are live, it's really awkward as a sound guy to have 2 signals being sent to you.
Yeah.
So if I've got a box on the end of my pedal board that goes, all right, click, click, well, here's one signal, shut up. And I still get that awesome kind of studio tone, quote unquote, then I think that'll make for a lot of happy bass players and a lot of happy engineers.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. I want to bring back that idea because I know like Dark Glass recently have done their X series with like the X7, which as far as I can tell is this idea, but it doesn't break out and go to anywhere. So you get the Dark Glass sound full stop.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the Dark Glass sound is cool, but it's one thing and you can't,
Yeah, exactly. It is not a one-trick pony.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Yeah. Whereas, I just want to make it really fun so that you can have like a Valve distortion if you want, or like whatever. I don't know. And yeah, doing it that way, you could even have like the lows and turn the filter knob all the way so it's actually a full range signal. So you just get 2 signals out.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to
That
do.
was something you wanted.
Yeah, I think that'd be quite helpful, really. Like you said, in a live situation. But me, I split my signal anyway in Reaper
Yes.
because you want that fundamental low end to feel the same constantly, and distortions and stuff like that do take away from it or just really muddy what's going on.
Yeah.
So being able to split it, definitely helpful. I mean, I used to run on the Pod X3 was 2 amps, a bass amp, and I think it was an Engel Fireball kind of style thing. But that was still always one output.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a blend between the amps. It was like you had to do the level to control it, but it wasn't a blend.
Yes. So that's exactly why I'm thinking of doing this, because I think guys like, the whole pedal boards of doom forums, I think they'd love this.
Yeah.
Because it's the kind of thing where it applies in so many circumstances. I know exactly how I would use it, but I can see so many ways that guys would use it in their complete own wacky way that gets a sound that works for them.
Well, even, Joe, you got to think these guys are tuning lower and lower.
Yeah.
And, you're in F, because some guys are even going down to C or B or A, 0 kind of thing. So if you had, but exactly, but if you had that blend where that subharmonic's got to be clean, you can focus that kind of tone on the higher end.
Yes. Well, that's the other reason that I'm thinking of doing it as a split with different, because what I would probably have is on the low end, then I would have a pretty heavy compressor or limiter pedal.
Yeah.
Like the Kali 76 or something, just for the low end, just to pin it down. Just so that the low end is just solid.
Yeah.
And then the high end doesn't need compression, arguably, because the high end then is down to my playing or the distortion or whatever, and then you can get some real grrr out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I find that high end distortion or whatever is more expressive, and you want that to be more expressive compared to your low end signal.
Yes. And the other thing that I'm thinking is by having a filter that you can dial in for the top end, if you've got a distortion after it that's getting a bit flubby, you can just dial out a little bit more of that low end until it just cleans up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's another thing that I do that in the especially modern heavy stuff is I take all the low end out before the distortion, and then suddenly it goes from to ding 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 ding. Kind of like Deliverance. Yeah. Ding 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 ding.
Country.
Dueling banjos.
Yeah, a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. Well spotted.
That's the modern bass tone.
What, dueling banjos?
Just really, really angry dueling banjos.
That's good work.
Ding 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 ding. Pretty much.
I remember showing you Periphery's Icarus Lives.
Oh yeah.
You're like, what is that tone?
Yeah. What exactly is going on here? Yes. Right. Well, I think it's time for the news. The news. So, Waves V12 update. This was unexpected, but just got dropped on us a couple of days ago. And it brings resizable GUIs, which I find really cool. Because in the studio, I just changed the main screen to be a 4K screen. And that's great, except that the windows in a lot of plugins don't natively just blow themselves up. So you've got these tiny little things now that you're squinting at.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Now, Reaper can do like resizing of plugins natively, but a lot of programs can't.
Yeah, you would have known that from old versions of Waves and stuff. If you try and scale something that's not native to Reaper, it either works beautifully or it just falls apart.
Yeah, and when it falls apart, good luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even when it does work, it usually looks kind of soft. So hopefully by Waves allowing you to do it through their system, that means it's going to look nice and sharp, even if you want it a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller or really big. So yeah, readable. That's the main thing. The other thing that came in, oh damn it! Owners of Platinum, Horizon, and Diamond bundles get low air, smack attack, and submarine. I bought low air separately.
I was gonna say, didn't we get them all from Black Friday as well?
Probably. I recently
Somewhere around the
upgraded.
line.
I recently got the Horizon bundle because it was on an absolutely screaming deal.
Oh, okay.
Because I got the V11, and with the V11, it came with secondary licenses. So that's
Yeah.
another new thing from Waves. That I already use an iLock, and I don't really want to be carrying around 2 license keys. So with Waves stuff now, I just have it licensed to this laptop and also licensed to the studio computer with the secondary thing, and it's done.
So do you not have the iLock at all now?
I do. I swear by the iLock, but Waves don't use iLock.
Oh, okay.
Waves, you either authenticate to the hard drive or just to a regular old USB stick.
Oh, okay.
Which is dangerous, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because a lot of USB sticks, they're not made very tough. And the ones that are can be quite expensive. And cost aside, you want to put any more files on that, and it can get bad quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that they came up with was the preset browser, which
Yeah.
You looked at that and you were showing me. It looked really interesting because you could search, couldn't you?
Yeah, it does look really intuitive, actually.
Mm.
To their credit, it does look a lot easier to use than other presets kind of search.
Yeah.
Joe, well, you would have seen it in Waves and stuff, Joe, when you used to click the load and look for it and everything.
Yeah.
This looks a lot prettier.
Okay.
I think it looks really nice to use. Even though I can't use it, it's something I would actually sit and watch you use because it looks like it's interesting to use.
Yeah, but
there we go.
I think
that.
Oh right,
I think for
okay.
you.
So it actually comes up with different plugins options.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
So I think, especially for starters or for yourself, if you were looking for a bass preset for the compressor or anything, at least you know what you could be looking for.
I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't even know where to start.
No, exactly. But with this, if you just go and type in bass, and you can kind of go, oh, okay, that sounds cool. That sounds shit. That sounds cool. That sounds okay. You kind of go, right. You could probably make a decent mix, because that was one thing I did like, is that it just seems to be rather quick. It just click and audition it. Where something like Bias Effects, you'd have to go to the cloud manager, you'd have to search for it, you'd have to then save it, and then it just does not.
Yeah.
And one from Bias as well, you have to be playing the input live.
All right.
Otherwise, it wouldn't give you the preview.
Oh, great.
So I'd have to keep a guitar plugged in just to test it before I can try it on the DIs I've already got.
Good job, Positive Grid.
Yeah, so...
But yeah, speed is definitely key. I mean, one of the ways that I learn plugins that I am not familiar with is like this. I'll flick through presets, even though I'm generally against using presets as a crutch. If I'm playing around and I want to find how a plugin works, if it's got loads of controls that I don't know what they do, I might just flick through presets and go, nope, 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 nope. I like this. What have they done?
Yeah, exactly.
And then have a dig and then go, oh, well, that's what these controls do. Okay, got it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it gives you a good starting point to then go and find your own sound. Like I say, in the example of you, if you wanted to use it, you could at least go, okay, I like that. I don't like that.
You just go, what do you think of this? And I go, yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
That's no different than what we do.
Exactly. That's all we do.
Pretty much, it's just finer details of nope, 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 nope.
Yeah.
That'll do.
You was what was it? You was mixing a track with a female singer, and I'm sat there and I'm listening to it, and I heard something, and you said the same thing straight after. I'm like, oh my god, I'm I said it before Adam.
Yeah. It's funny, you do pick up on stuff. The more and more you do this kind of thing, the more you learn what to listen for. Then the question
Especially
is,
when it comes
oh
to
yeah,
movies. Oh
God. Well, no, exactly. It's like you said, you learn to know what you like.
yeah. And then you start picking up on things you don't like, and then the question is, how do I fix this?
yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. And then if you've got 10 options in your head, you can very quickly go through and go, that's not going to work here. That one, well, let's try one of these two. Nope, try the other one. Yes.
So with the preset browser,
Yes.
is it just the factory ones, or users
does
got to be
have-
able to upload?
Good question. It's got the like famous people presets lower down there.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's going to have like cloud type stuff.
Yeah, I imagine it would get really cumbersome really quickly if they did allow it. Because everyone making their version of a 76 kind of thing. These are the things I use. It could get a bit chaotic real fast.
Yes.
Danny
says
pretty,
wife gets tired of listening to the same song 100 times when I'm mixing. It's like, well, wear headphones.
I'm saying nothing.
No. She gets this as well.
You hear it in the house, and then you've got to hear it in the car, and then you've got to hear it through his phone.
Hey, that car mix is essential, and you know it.
That's why I've just spent an inordinate amount of money on these things.
Is there a car version in that?
There's 2 car versions in it, yeah.
Ooh.
There's an electric car and there's an SUV.
You've got a big birthday coming up, so you can have something fun.
So does the SUV have that a bit more low end rumble going on?
It does. It's got
people
that
flipping you off.
pretty much. Yeah, move, buddy. It's the weirdest thing trying to get used to it, because like the first thing that somebody else said is it doesn't sound like you're in a car. And I said, well, you know what's missing is road noise.
Yeah.
If you pulled over and stopped and actually critically listened to what your car sounds like, it sounds way worse than you think it does.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because what people don't realize is a nice speaker system. Everyone's really particular about, oh, this speaker goes here and the speaker goes there. And in a car, you're like, no, they're near your knees. They're pointed inwards. They're pointed towards the steering wheel. None of this is going to end well.
No, exactly.
So it is what it is. Deal with it.
In regards to back to waves, they are pretty.
Yeah,
they are very pretty. These
the
big fan of neon.
The pretty plugins are all the like revamps of the old plugins. So that's the thing. It's not actually V12 that makes them look any different. They've gone back recently, and all the old plugins like Q2 and all the EQs and L1 and stuff like that. They've updated the look so it doesn't look like it comes from Windows 95.
Yeah, I used my old L1 not too long ago. I was like, wow, this looks awful. Yeah, I still swear by their de-esser though.
I do actually. I used it today. I used it today on a mix because it just does what it's supposed to do with like 2 buttons and a slider.
What was the one I used it on? Some backing like ambient vocal. I did the 1975 trick. They used where you focused on the mid of the vocal, so you could have it higher but it wouldn't get in the way.
Oh yeah, that old backing track trick. Yeah. Very.
I still use that trick. It's really good.
I should use it more often, honestly. Yeah. Pro tip for everybody: if your backing tracks are a bit too in your face, use a de-esser that goes all the way down to about 2K, and that'll actually take that peak out of the vocals, and then they'll just sit behind the main vocal. Done. Very clever little trick. Yes. Yeah, we found that ages ago. So, moving on to our next news topic. This is the one I wanted to get your reaction on. Peavey have relaunched the HP2 guitar, the Eddie Van Halen guitar, following Eddie Van Halen's death.
It's a very pretty coloured guitar.
Yeah.
But I think it's a money trap.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Everybody else has reacted the same way. And I'm not like the world's biggest Peavey fanboy, but one thing I will say is that they started planning this in July. So,
right.
Okay.
Whether they knew that Eddie wasn't well, I don't know. That's just conjecture on my part.
Yeah,
that's just a guess on my part.
Yeah, I mean, there was new bits of rumblings we heard over the last few months, I would say, about Eddie's health.
Yeah.
But my only wonder here is how is EVH as a company kind of gone with this? Because they were doing their own guitars, weren't they?
Yes, and they will continue to do so. And EVH, the company, do all sorts of stuff. They are co-owned by Fender at this point, but all their money that the EVH brand makes actually goes to the Van Halen family.
Oh, so, cool.
Yeah, morally speaking, I think there's far less of an issue there.
Yeah.
Because it's supporting Eddie's family.
Yeah, it's
great.
Providing for them. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if anyone actually buys EVH branded equipment, amps, guitars, whatever, you are actually helping out, the Van Halen family.
But I wonder how much they get from each sale.
It won't be a small amount, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
They'll do all right, Alf.
Yeah. Eddie wouldn't have signed a contract where he got 2p out of a £1,000 amp, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
How much are we looking at for these?
Let's have a look. So the HP2, these are the predecessor to the Music Man, Wolfgang, and the Axis, I think it is. Sorry, the Axis that Music Man made. I think.
Oh,
might be getting my wires crossed. So this is the original Eddie Van Halen custom guitar, because of course he had his striped Frankenstrat thing for years, and Peavey began building the 5150 in 92. They began making this in 96. They stopped making it after Eddie left the company. And oh wow, $3,000
plus a hard case.
I would bloody well think so.
What's the spec on these? Like, is there anything with spec? Oh, here we go.
2 custom round PV humbucker. Pickups, directly mounted wire via single volume control and a 3-way toggle switch for a nice simple setup.
Bird's eye maple neck. What's the body wood?
Let's have a look.
Basswood for the back, and maple top.
Oh. So bright and light, which is very Eddie.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, bird's eye maple, that'll push the price up a little bit. PV Floyd Rose license, that'll push the price up a little. Made in the US, that's a big part.
That's the kicker.
But I'm surprised that PV even have the staff to make this these days. Because PV were in financial trouble a few years back, and they really had to scale down.
Weren't they on one of those Undercover Boss?
They were, and they did not do well out of that.
No, I saw that. It was. I sat laughing because afterwards I felt so sorry for the staff because they got rid of all of them.
Yes.
And it's like, what the?
Apparently there was more that went on around that. Apparently they were hoping that there was going to be a big injection of cash and that fell through or something like that. So they didn't do Undercover Boss with the intention of firing everybody, but it's not a good look.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It was bad timing, I think, under a lot of that.
I think about, it's like usually 4 people on Undercover Boss, and out of the 4 people, 1 person got kept on.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Have to say, on an off note, I have played an EVA, a Peavey Wolfgang a few years ago in Gibson Guitar Store in Ashton. They had one of these in, an old one, like late 90s one. And it was good. It was very good. It practically played itself.
Is it short scale? Is it classed as a short scale or?
No, it's 25.5 inch.
Oh, okay.
It's just the rounded body makes it look shorter scale than it is. But yeah, no, it's full length. It's that slightly rounded Frankenstrat thing.
I do like that shape.
Well, I think
you're not keen.
I just like that colour. I think it looked nice in kitchen.
I do like finishes like that.
Though Marty said he doesn't like the blue, he prefer it in yellow.
Oh,
See, that would hurt your eyes.
Much prefer the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a big fan of tacky coloured guitars.
Oh, what's that one thing he's just bought? Oh, that's vile.
Oh, the pencil crayon looking thing.
That. Oh,
it's
God.
Like,
let me see if I can find it. Give me a sec.
It's like striped, kind of all sorts of colours. Those. Oh, I know.
A minute, my phone's decided to be funny.
Well, while you're doing that, let's talk about the next thing because it's very techy, the next one.
Oh, you two carry on then.
Yeah.
So, you know about Dante, right? It's audio over an Ethernet cable. And then there's AVB, which is also audio over an Ethernet cable, but a completely different standard from completely different people.
Right.
And then there's AES50, which is a third wheel, which is flipping awkward.
Also with an effort.
Also with an Ethernet cable.
Right.
Now, AES50, the Behringer and Midas stuff all uses that. Which that's its own like closed ecosystem. That's live sound stuff. I can, see what that does. Get on with it. AVB has always been kind of a bit of an underdog and a plucky underdog, and I've always thought Dante was better, not because it was actually technically better, but because a lot more of the cooler kids used it. If you know what I mean. Like, a lot of the Focusrite stuff now has Dante inbuilt on the converters. There are just a lot of devices that can just natively use Dante now, rather than AVB. And PreSonus seem to have like given up and gone, fine, okay. So if you've already got a big mixing desk that has AVB in it, PreSonus now make an AVB to Dante converter.
Right, okay.
So all the other gear that's coming out that's Dante, if you've got one of their things that's AVB, they've gone, fine, sod it. You can have a converter and that'll just, it'll work now. Shut up, go away. Thanks.
Right. Okay. I mean, I get why using Ethernet is probably going to be the future.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I'm thinking a move into it, but it's just for me, and I was talking to Liam about this last week. Right now, it makes no sense for me because I'd pay about £2,000 in new equipment and wouldn't actually get any sonic benefit.
No.
I'd be ready for new gear. I'd be then ready to just plug stuff in via Ethernet cables. But for now, that wouldn't do anything, and that's a lot of money to spend for no actual appreciable improvement.
No, exactly. And the other side of it is, I don't think there's enough stuff out.
Well, that's the thing.
To warrant it.
It's getting there. That's the thing. Slowly, softly, we're getting there, and it's a big deal in a way because the way that Dante works. Let's say you've got a MacBook that's got an Ethernet jack.
Yep, still do.
Or you've got a USB-C dongle that's got an Ethernet jack on it. If you've got anything Dante, you plug that in, that works. You download a software package, that's it, you're off. All that sound's going into your MacBook, you're done.
Yeah.
That's it. Which is why I reckon that's going to be a big push in the future. If you want really, really low latency, you have to get like a Dante card to do that. So it'll not use software and it'll bypass all that kind of stuff. And it's like injecting the sound directly into the veins. But you don't need it. That's the interesting thing.
It is. That's just when it gets to the big play.
Yeah. But the other thing is the way that a system like Dante works. It's not like we have now where you have an interface and a computer, and if you unplug one, the whole thing stops. The way that Dante works, you can have multiple computers or other mixing desks or monitor systems or whatever, all plugged into the same network, and they can all listen to the same inputs, same outputs. They just share.
See, now that's interesting.
Yeah, that's where it starts getting clever. You can do things like in a live system, in a live environment, you'll have a stage box on stage where all the microphones go to, and that can have several Dante cables coming out of it. One that goes to the monitor guy, one that goes to the front of house guy, maybe one that goes to the lighting guy, one that goes to the director and producer's room. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm starting to, one that goes to the TV and film crew. And that's all they need is one more cable.
Yeah. To be honest, you are talking about a socially distanced world where being in other rooms not is just going to be a normal thing.
Yeah.
So why not?
Absolutely.
Do it over this where you will have like the director's booth miles away. Like you could even get to the point in the music industry where a producer doesn't even come down into the live room or like the mixing room at all. He's just up in an office essentially.
Yeah. And he just has another channel on the Dante that just he has a microphone and just sends his audio down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's being done right now. It's not that weird.
Yeah, exactly. When you break it down like that, it's look at how the old studio was.
Here's a really cool example of how it can work now. So this is the Neve RMP rump bum bottom. No. Mic pre D8. So this is an 8-channel Dante mic pre, and the reason this is cool is I can stick this box in the room with the performers, and I never have to touch it again. I can change the gain, I can change the 48 volts, all of it remotely.
Right.
No extra cables, no extra nothing. I can just change it all.
And that's just over the same signal as well as it's taking all the input and everything from that. That's
all of it. Yep. It's audio networking. It just works like a network. So that's it. And I can have as many of these as I want. So I could have 8 of them, 64 channels next to the band, or even dot them around the live room nearer to different band members, and just not touch them.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's
someone in chat's just said their local arena is all Dante for their audio systems, not a single audio cable in it now.
Yeah, there you go. So that's it for you. So the Allen and Heath stuff all uses Dante. I mean, it's a growing thing. And because Dante's like, if you've got Dante gear, it all talks to each other. You don't need anything special. I could use it like an Allen and Heath mixer and suddenly just have 8 or 16 or 24 Neve inputs and just stick the boxes on stage and just route the audio out to my mixing desk if I'm being posh and I want that.
It's the fact you could.
Yeah. The possibilities are scary.
Are these like stupid expensive as well?
Oh, of course they are. But yeah. That's the thing is it always new technology starts expensive and prices cascade downwards.
It's the argument of Moore's law.
It
all gets better, faster, smaller, cheaper.
Yeah, so that's £5,500 for one of them. But it's just an example I picked off the top of my head that's the top of the tree. Yeah. You don't need to pay that much specifically for Dante. You pay that much for the Neve name and the Neve brand and the Neve quality. Right. And the fact that it has Dante is great, but probably adds 500 quid to that. Maybe 1,000 because it's all remotely doable. But yeah, it adds some cost, but it doesn't add a huge amount of cost. And yeah, it's just really interesting. I mean, this converter's not cheap. These are $600. For one of these converters that's in the news this week.
Wow.
But if you've got like a big piece of equipment that uses the competing standard, and you're the only guy in the whole team who's paid £30,000 for your piece of gear, and it can't play nice with the other boys.
Yeah, exactly. But for the sake of 600, was it?
Exactly, yeah. For the sake of that and one little box, problem solved.
Yeah.
Yes. And another little extra bonus is that this little box also acts as a sample rate converter. So if you're using AVB stuff that's the wrong sample rate, quote unquote, it'll convert it and then throw it onto the Dante network at the right sample rate. Ta-da!
See, now this is something I was going to ask about, the whole Ethernet, Dante, AVB kind of thing. What sample rates are we looking at? Are we going beyond 96?
I would imagine it can, but with anything to do with digital data, as you go up in sample rate, you double the amount of information that you're sending.
Yeah.
So if you could send 64 in, 64 out before, you double it, you're only going to get 32.
Yeah.
But then, honestly, and I've said this before on the show several times, anything over 96K is largely pointless because of physics. If you try going that fast, bad things happen, and you end up with worse performance because of inter-sample distortion.
Yeah.
So you may as well not bother.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that. And that's the conversation. And yeah, so a lot of mixing desks, digital desks now are getting Dante option cards. So if they didn't have Dante before, you can just throw that in there. That's the thing that's really fascinating to me, is you can just add and add and add to a Dante network. And because
definitely.
like the specific Dante cards that you can get for a PC, or the modern Mac Pro can also take this card before anyone says, it can do 128 in, 128 out at less than 1 millisecond latency.
That's just
Stupid.
inhuman.
Yeah, it's
stupid.
Absolutely ridiculous, which is great. I mean, for professionals, I mean, you never know what you're going to get thrown at you. And if the computer and the device you've got just go, okay, then...
Yeah, it's just, right, that's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah, off we go. I guess we're doing this then. So,
well, I think that gives machines like mine a bit more life.
Yeah.
Like you being able to use Ethernet, because...
Yours is old.
Yeah, exactly.
It's old.
It doesn't even support its own hardware anymore. Like the FireWire port on it doesn't work because Mac gave up on it and just forgot it was there. So it just sits there doing jack all.
Yeah.
But I think one of my machines are probably one of the last few that has the Ethernet port.
Yes.
And this still runs Catalina.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the processor will support it. It's just the rest of it's shaking and creaking and going, ah.
Yes.
But as long as it works, it works.
Exactly.
It's funny. I was using John Brown from Monuments. I was using his MacBook Pro, which is a brand new one, last week. And we had to get dongles on dongles on dongles. It's embarrassing.
God. I hate the whole USB-C.
Yeah.
But I hate the way they've integrated it. You can have a USB port, or you can keep the charge.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that the Pro's got 4 ports is useful. So one of them had the charger.
But it shouldn't have to be the Pro to be able to have 4 ports.
Very, very true. Yeah. And the poor thing was struggling, and eventually I think I closed the screen, brought my laptop out and went, dunk, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. You drop the tank and then we go.
Yeah. It's like, do you need any adapters? Nope, I'm good. Actually, tell a lie. I've got one USB hub plugged in right now, but that's just for convenience. That's just because I can't be bothered having a longer HDMI cable coming from the camera.
To be fair, I have my USB hub is for my iLock and my MIDI keyboard.
Yeah. So my iLock right now is iLock, on the hub, the Evo 8, and the camera.
Yeah.
And I've got enough ports on the laptop that I don't actually need that. It just tucks it behind the desk nicely, which, convenience is fine. I mean, I'm never going to argue against convenience, but necessity? Ooh.
Yeah, that's a different ballgame.
Absolutely. So let's move on. The Embodme Array Touch, that's a weird name. It's a MIDI 2.0 controller, and it looks like it's made out of tartan.
What?
I'm sure Reese has them pajama pants.
I'm fairly sure they don't light up like this, but yeah.
No.
Right. What are we actually looking at?
So this is a multi-touch controller, like for Ableton Live or something like that.
Right.
And it's MIDI 2.0, and it's got polyphonic expression, so you can put your hands on it and do weird stuff, and it'll respond to all the weird touches. And I'm guessing it's pressure sensitive, so how hard you press, it's gonna notice. And yeah, oh god, it's a Kickstarter thing. Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
And it's USB-C, like we were saying, so it's for the MacBook crowd.
Oh, sorry, can't charge.
Yeah.
Right.
Go on.
Do I do this? Do I go on my high horse about this?
Oh no! Don't start. Don't start.
We've got time.
Right. The problem with this. Yes. The problem with this. It's going to be. For one, it's €700 for what I just saw then for you scrolling. They gotta pay all this. It's going back to the Apple thing. They gotta pay all this money, have it look dead posh. What the hell they gotta do is they gotta press one button to play verse on Ableton Live, play chorus. Done. I'm a DJ now. Get out. Doesn't count. It's just a posh sequencer. That's all this is. I don't care. I'm getting on.
Yeah. So yeah, I just said in chat the Evo 8. So hey everybody, I might have an Evo 8 right here. Yeah. I haven't.
We were talking about this, weren't we?
I haven't been able to mention anything about this because of an NDA for the last few weeks. I need to edit my video, but I've got a video that's me and Glenn Fricker from Spectre Sound Studios, which is going to come out soonish. Obviously, I have to edit it. I'll do a quick review video on it as well, but basically my review is going to be, watch the Evo 4 video. It's good. This just has more inputs and outputs. Buy it. It's good.
That has more?
It's 4 inputs, 4 outputs on the Evo 8.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the 8.
Oh.
It's wider than the 4. It's I'll just nip to this.
Oh.
I'll just
sorry.
If we're sat in there, it would be.
Yes. We will be.
I've had it for a few weeks. I believe they are available now. Let me just.
We were talking about them the other day, or were we talking about the Evo 2?
There's only the 4 and the 8.
Which one were we talking?
It would have been the 4.
Audio's gone.
Hello. Oh, audio's back.
Oh, it's back.
Oh, right. There must be no audio on the full camera view. Right. Okay. I didn't actually say anything that was of particular use on there anyway, so don't worry about it.
It was the Evo 4 we were talking about it the other day. They're available now, as far as I can see.
Evo 4, yeah.
Yeah,
they're £109 on Top Man.
Available shortly is what it says, and the reason is it's not necessarily that. Come on, brain! I'm trying to do 3 things. I'm trying to get you all a link.
Delivery's full.
It's not that the Evo's out or not out. It's more that they can't make enough of them to make enough for everybody. So they're really kind of scrambling. Evo 8. There we go.
Nick's just found it.
Yeah. So on Toman,
I don't know if it's going to show up, but
on Toman it's available, but it says it's going to be. There we go. So there's a link in chat if you want to go and pre-order one, because they should be available within the week.
Nick has the release date here.
No, delivery date's the 4th of November, and it's available at gearformusic.com for £159.
It's available at Toman for the same price with my affiliate link.
Adam, send it me. His birthday's coming up soon.
But I need it.
But
I literally waited 3 months for this thing and used a. I used. If I can find it. Oh, hello, Spider.
Hello, Spider.
I used a Behringer for 3 months.
And how was that?
It was shocking. I managed not to swear. That was difficult. It was Behringer-tastic is what it was.
Oh.
In fact, the UM2 is the worst of the Behringers by a long way.
Do you want that?
Actually, in the studio, I've got the Behringer 404 HD. It's actually really good.
See, now, can we talk about the price
of
the Evo 8?
Yeah.
159.
Yeah, for a 4 preamp really good thing. Yeah.
That's good. That's stupid good.
That's why they're going to be sold out from now till the end of time. Because Audient are now smashing it, except that they just can't make them fast enough.
Yeah, this is...
It's £50 more for the 8 than it is the 4. So you'd go for the 8.
Yeah, that makes logical sense. I mean, but that depends on who you are and what you do. I mean, if you're only ever going to use 2 inputs and like headphones, then the 4 makes sense. Or if you have a very limited budget, full stop. But like, for what it is, that is a bargain of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, I paired this with my Avalon. That's inhuman. Like, that would just be stupid.
Yeah, honestly, compared to the old Sapphire that you've got, the old Focusrite Sapphire, that would blow it out the water, that's for sure.
Exactly. So I was like, well,
Yeah, they are more than a bit good. So, yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Have one, you want. I will buy you one.
You've heard it on the stream.
He only needs an Evo 4.
Oh, okay. Save me 50 quid, cheers, Adam.
That's fine. Well,
funny thing is, I mean, that's the price point that these should be at, honestly, because anything that's more complicated than that, I mean, if you need more than 4 channels, in my experience, you need a lot more than 4 channels. I mean, if you need 2 channels, you might be doing a microphone and a DI box, or like a guitar and a vocal. If you need 4, you're doing something a little more complicated, maybe. Beyond that, you're probably recording either a full band or you're recording drums.
Yeah.
Either of which, like, if you go to 8 channels, that's probably not enough. So that's what I mean. It's like, it's 2, 4 lots.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, for the majority of the market, which is your bedroom guys kind of doing this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's inhuman for the price. Like, look at like companies that are offering finance on it. It's
finance on it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's over a certain threshold. Technically, they can.
Yeah.
You just buy it.
Yeah, but some person can pay £4 a month for it if they wanted.
Yeah, it very much depends who you are and what situation you're in, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's...
What's the smart game mode like? Obviously, not to delve too much into the review and stuff you do.
It's fine. Well, honestly, without joking, it's going to be very similar to the Evo 4 review that I already did months ago.
With my V's comment.
The bedroom guys will be humping the Evo 8. I mean...
Well,
I don't know if it's that good, but it's
that's
good.
all you can afford.
Yeah. But yeah, the smart gain's kind of clever. For someone like us who's worked in engineering before, you're not going to use it. You're going to click on the channel you want. You're going to whack the gain up to what you need. You're done.
Yeah.
If you're not an engineer and you just want to know how loud should I do this, you press the green button, press the channel, and press the green button again, and make noise, and it does the rest.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's clever. That's very clever.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue it's lazy, but on the other side, Joe, people learning,
Yeah.
you still want a good result.
Well, that's the thing. For
At the end of the day.
For us, it's lazy. I think this is more appropriate than ever because the number of people that people I know in media are getting people to record themselves at home.
Oh God, yeah.
These are not engineers. These are not people who really know what they're
I
doing.
need to readjust.
So if you can just send them, here's a microphone and a stand, here's a thing, and then walk them through hitting the record button, and then when they go, how loud should I have the microphone? You go, well, hit the green button and talk.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be this loud. There we go.
Yeah, and then when they say, I worry that it's not loud enough, you go, you press the headphone button and then turn that up.
Yeah, exactly.
And the rest is hunky-dory.
Well, say if you're an engineer and everyone's recording their parts from home, and you're going to get sent all these parts, if you gave them, you'll press the smart game mode and press number 1, because that's what you've plugged into, you at least know that every single person's signal is got to be near enough the same vibe or same feel.
Yeah, and they're not going to be distorted to hell or far too quiet and buried in the noise floor. Yeah.
Exactly. So when you're doing your home TV show, it's a 40-minute thing. You got to process 8 guys' vocals.
Yeah.
At least you know, boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
They will all sound right together.
So I could use it being a complete novice.
That's the idea.
Exactly. Exactly. You press that green button on it and start playing. That's the signal. That's the level you need. Yeah.
That's it. How loud do I need it? I need it green button loud.
Yeah.
That takes one element of worry away.
Exactly.
And then there's the other thing of, well, the microphone's not working. Is it one of those where you need to press the red button? Press the red button.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The audio mute on them fades in and out, so you don't just get bang. You just get gentle. Yeah.
It has its own curve out.
Yeah, it does. And it's got a ring of LEDs around the volume knob, which as I'm talking, you'll actually see it move there.
Yeah.
So that's the level. And as I'm talking, you'll notice that's going about halfway up. Yep. That's perfect. Which means that if I shout, it's still not going all the way up.
So it's fake. So it's got like its own gate.
I don't know about gate, but it's just got like a ramp on the ins and outs. So when you like put 48 volts on and stuff, it doesn't just.
It's not going to.
It's not going to blow your headphones out. Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah.
Oh shit! Sorry, that's me. Sorry, it's an alarm reminder.
That's fine.
9 o'clock.
Okay, 9 o'clock.
All right, so let's move on because that's already an hour into the podcast. Cranbourne Audio, who make some very cool 500 series stuff. I do want to talk to these guys. They're UK based, and they've just made a very cool mic preamp that came out this week, the EC1. And it looks like it fits nicely on a desk. Half rack unit, so you can fit 2 of them in side by side, or fit 300 of them stacked up if you can balance them well enough. That's entirely on you. And there's little things that Cranbourne Audio do that seem a little weird to me, but that you can have there. Like there's external input, so you can have like you can use it as a headphone amp, but also the preamp.
Wait.
Yeah, I know.
How does that work?
It's just a bit weird. Like
external in.
Yeah, so you can plug your headphones in at the bottom there. and you could have this in the vocal booth and not need a separate headphone amp.
Oh, okay. So I think, for vocal booth situations like yourselves or whatever, you've got a one-stop shop.
Yeah. Oh, it's got a proper balanced aux inputs for that as well. Oh, and it's got the talking about Ethernet audio again. This isn't digital Ethernet. This is Cranbourne's own system called Cast, which is
there's another one.
yeah, but this one makes more sense to me. This is analog. This is just because there's eight wires in an Ethernet cable, and so you use 2 of them for an audio, like plus and minus.
Yeah.
Simple. That's it. And actually, recently, I've got not their exact format, but I've got something like this installed in the studio over the last few weeks. I've now got an Ethernet cable that goes into the vocal booth that's got a kind of a thing that goes chunk on the end and has got 4 XLR inputs. And I've got another one on the other side of the live room, so I can plug mics in on the other side of the live room.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's really clever and relatively affordable. But yeah, the Cranbourne Audio do these big like 500 series racks that have got ADAT conversion, but they've also got inputs for these like Ethernet jacks that you just click them straight in. So if you've got things like compressors and EQs in your rack, then you could run an Ethernet cable from where the singer is, which also, because of the way that this works, would send the headphone mix right down that same Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
But then would also send the signal straight through to EQ and compression, which then, because this thing's got ADAT in, would go straight digitally to your thing. It's a bit of an all-in-one solution. It's very, very clever. And so that's why I want to talk to these guys, because it's getting a little bit clever.
How much are we looking at?
550.
Yeah. So $550 for one of these. I mean, that's got to be a fairly high-end preamp.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're not paying for low-quality stuff there.
It's got a knob that's called Mojo, so you can add Mojo.
No.
Behave.
I mean, it's got either cream or thump, and that if that's not dirty, I don't know what is.
No, I'm better than this.
You're really not.
You don't know that.
So
right,
yes, you can have creamy Mojo.
No. Oh no.
You've had a beer as well. That's not good. You just set him off.
Doesn't take much. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I'm hoping to check one of these out very soon, because I'm interested to see how the Mojo sounds.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe also listen to the thump. And finally, it's time for Behringer Corner. So we've been finding out for weeks and weeks little bits about the Behringer 2600, which is their modular synth. Do you know the ARP 2600, the old thing from the 70s? Yeah. Which cost many, many, many thousands because it was a big beast and it was ahead of its time and breathed fire and $600 for the whole thing.
Okay.
So this thing is, I mean, that's got a lot going on that front panel right there.
I'm confused by all the knobs and buttons.
So am I.
Yeah.
Some of them light up.
See, I just want to push them, the purple ones, and it'd be fine. Everything will sound fine because it's purple.
Yep. Well, the thing with a synth like this is that's how a lot of people use them, is you just get a handful of cables and you just push sliders and you'll press a note on the keyboard. And when it goes, wow, you then just go, what does this slider do? What does this one do? What happens if I put this jack in here? Oh, God, no. Oh, how about this one?
Yeah, exactly. That's the old school Euro rack and these big things. That's pretty much how you get the sounds. Could you replicate them? Could you? Hell. You know, you got it once and you really hope you were recording it, because especially with analog stuff, it was a lot. It was very much a one-time magic.
Yeah, you
kind of
might
thing.
if you take photos, you might get a bit close.
Yeah, that was the closest thing that you had to a screen grab. Was if you had a Polaroid camera, you hopefully got enough of it. But it's cool that they bring it back because I don't think anyone really plays with physical synths these days in comparison to,
Yeah.
VST synths. Do the comparison between like guitar and VST guitar. Majority of people are still playing guitar, but synth to VST synth, I don't have an actual synth. Oh, mine a VST.
Well, yeah, it's so unusual still to have stuff, but I mean, with the prices coming down and down.
Yeah, exactly. So for 600, someone could drop it and go, yeah, I'll have a play with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's not 600 plus. Oh, you need this and oh, you need that and oh, you need this and you need the manual. And you need a hard hat and a telescope and.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
with your rack, it's like, oh, you bought the racks and an oscillator. Oh, now you need this and now you need that and now you need this and now you need that. Oh God.
Exactly. Like I was looking at your racks and how do you even start? And you just go, it's so easy to get not the wrong thing, but it only takes you to get one thing and go, oh, it doesn't have an input.
Yeah.
It doesn't have an input for this. Oh no.
Are these going to be specific cables as well you use for it?
No, it'll be just like little mini jack cables.
Okay.
Like the aux cables you get for your car. Yeah.
Yeah, we've not had one of them for years.
No, but you know what they are. Yeah.
We're sort of using one.
You'll be able to buy like packs of 10 or packs of 20 for not very much because they're made in China. They're not exactly like, they're not exactly premium, made of silver, crazy stuff. But yeah, £563. That's not bad for what that is, because that is an all-in. In fact, that was the big deal about the ARP 2600 when it came out, because before this, you were looking at like a Moog modular, which, if talking about Euro racks, imagine the granddad of that, which was
exactly.
we'd be talking about like this kind of stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the scary door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing that you used back in the late 60s, because that's what there was.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's as small as they could get it at the time.
Yeah. And it cost
crazy
more than a car.
Yeah, really did. But now that was the entrance to some people. Like that was that or nothing.
I was just looking at the dates, and at the bottom it said 1964 it was built, and then it's got all the list of the what.
Yeah, so generally most of the
updates.
Most of them were built till 73. Then there was a newer set for up till 81, but that was your lot, because even Moog moved on. They made the Mini Moog, the Poly Moog, the Memory Moog, so they were much more modern. But yeah, from there the next step was something like this. Then the next step was all-in-one keyboards, which could do everything, and so there was a slow evolution, but these, because of the fact that you could get cables and go from here to here and do the weird stuff, then that was the thing. Yeah. Major Prometheus says, didn't the Fairlight cost the same as a small house? Yes. That was a bit different to this. That was like one of the original computer systems from the very early 80s. And we're talking in modern money, a CMI Fairlight was about $100,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Guys like Peter Gabriel had them. Because, like, all the weird stuff on Sledgehammer and that album, that's all a Fairlight.
Yeah, exactly. But you had to be that level, Peter Gabriel, to kind of go, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
to be able to drop that kind of money on it, go, yeah, I'll have a play with this.
Yeah, I mean that's adjusted for inflation, but even in the early 80s, it would have been the equivalent of that.
Mm.
And
So
yeah,
for $600, yeah, all right.
yeah, let's just see how much. See if I can find the original price of an ARP 2600. Okay, so in 1975, an ARP 600 cost $3,300. So
With inflation on that,
inflation calculator. Let's just see. Oh, hello. So 3,300 in 1974, roughly, I think it was. I didn't look exactly. What would that cost? That's about £34,000 in today's money.
wow.
So $40,000, $50,000 roughly is what you were looking at for one of these back in the mid 70s.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, and now Behringer make them for less than 1,000. So when people go,
Right.
"How much money?" It's like, well, did you did you save up for the
Exactly.
original?
Exactly. I mean, granted, it's took us, just over 40 years, nearly 50, to get to this point, but
Yeah.
we're at this point now.
Oh, right. So they came out. The original came out in 1971, which is why that was a big deal, because like the modulars had pretty much only been out for 2 years or 3 years at that point.
Right.
So someone comes along with something that's like half the size of this bottom bit here.
See, I think that looks nice.
Yeah,
Even though it's massive, it looks really nice.
that's a small one.
Yeah, that's the little one.
But it looks nice. I think it looks nicer than the other one that Behringer are bringing out.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
like cheaper, but
yeah, but then the Behringer one, well, the ARP looked a bit more like that, and it was what's the word?
Yep.
I-
Like I said, leave it.
Yeah, here's Hans Zimmer
Yeah.
Yeah.
with a picture of him with his Moog. See if I can load that up.
Wow.
That's what a big one looked like. Yeah, that's what a big Moog went. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Jesus H Christ. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's why, like, when you listen to Hans Zimmer scores and he's got all the weird stuff on, he grew up with that. Maybe not grew up with literally that, but I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, it's a Roland.
I don't know about that. I think that might be somebody joking. This is Reddit after all.
Oh, it's Reddit, yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't take much at face value off Reddit.
No.
But yeah, that was the news. Right, now to try and plan the next week out, because I'm going to the studio tomorrow, but I haven't got my own car because on the way home a few days ago, my driver's side window decided to just break.
Oh my god.
I say break. The motor in the up and down of the window
Right.
broke, which means that it was halfway down on the motorway. And then I had to get home and physically push the window up and then stuff tissues in to keep it up so that I could take it to the garage.
Oh no.
Yeah.
When are you going to get that back then?
I don't know. They figured out what it is, but they're so busy. They're backed up by like 3 weeks, but I just turned up and was like, please fix it.
Please help me.
Yeah.
Should have sent Mickey. It might have got done quicker.
Oh, I don't know. They've got a woman on the reception for a reason.
Ah.
Mickey turns up, please fix it, and they go, no.
See, if it was a guy, she would go, please fix it. They'll go, okay, love.
Yeah. But yeah, I finally got this bass back off my dad, and this
nice.
this thing is beautiful. So you might be able to see. We don't actually know who the E on the headstock is from. It's a one of a kind. And
That's really nice.
yeah. So
is that like pearl inlay?
Yep, it's all mother of pearl. It's not the cheaper abalone. It's proper mother of pearl.
That's really
And
nice,
the thing for the guitarists in the chat, look at this.
Chris.
You might have seen this bass
Oh,
before,
yeah, I remember
Chris.
that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
God, yes.
this body, that's not book match. That's a single piece of maple. There's no cut on the bottom. There's no thing. The body is a single piece of maple, and it is the brightest thing you have ever heard. It's wonderful. But it's
Careful.
Yeah.
but it's had
Sorry.
some issues. The truss rod is gone. And
Gone.
yeah, and the top, the thread has just shredded over the years. Whoever's had it before us has just killed it. So I'm taking it to Jack's Instrument Services, who will probably be taking off the entire fretboard to get to the truss rod to replace it with a new one.
Now that's the one. That's not the original color of that one,
No,
is it?
it's not. Well spotted. Originally,
I remember that.
it was Tobacco Sunburst originally, in a very, very thick gloss. And
Yeah.
now it's back to the original wood with true oil.
I love that.
It's
Yeah.
stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a single piece. And as you can see, the electronics aren't there right now. They've been put inside. Show the E. Let's have a look. So there we go. So that's the E.
Mm.
Yeah. So we really don't know who did this. We thought it might be E for Erlewine, as in Dan Erlewine, who's one of the bigger, or what was one of the bigger guitar makers in the US. So we talked to him once, and he said, "Nope, not me, but it might have been one of my students doing a masterpiece."
Right.
But whether it is or whether it isn't, we just don't know. But
It sounds good. So
it's not a C, Marty. No, it is definitely an E. If you see it in person rather than on camera, it's much easier to see. But that E is made out of a single piece of abalone, which is ridiculous.
You'll have to take a picture and put it on the Hot Pole Facebook so people can have a proper look at it.
It's not a bad idea, that.
yeah, I don't think you really show off that one that often, really.
No. Well, it's because it's been in various states of disrepair over the years. Because the truss rod, as long as we've had it, has always been not great. And recently, with the big changes in weather we've had over the last summer, the neck has really started to bow.
Yeah.
So, Jack Ellis is going to take the fretboard off, I think, and redo the truss rod, which is it's major surgery. It's a big job, but if anyone can do it, Jack can.
Yeah, absolutely. What electronics are in that? Were in that?
Right. So originally it had a preamp in it that was handmade. It was on like Vero board. Somebody who'd made it.
Really?
Yeah. And it died. Like it just over time, it fell apart. So Stephen Hart, our local builder, we asked him to put replacement electronics in. He put Artec electronics in, which are cheap and terrible.
Yep.
So I will be putting Bartolini electronics in there.
Good.
It's currently it's got Bartolini pickups in there, which are quad coil Bartolini pickups, which are amazing. And so I'll be getting matching Bartolini electronics. It's got space for 4 knobs and 4 switches, which is a lot.
That's a.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it sounds crazy, but I've worked out what I'm going to do with it. I do have the original schematic, which I took a photo of what it was.
So let's go through. We got an active passive.
Yep, active passive switch. Yep.
Volume.
Yeah, we got volume.
Volume
We gotta
knob.
have tones.
Yeah, so I'm going with pickup blend on a knob.
Yep.
And I'm going with bass and treble as one stack, and then mids. So that's the knob.
Are you doing the dark glass mid and high mid, or just a singular mid?
No, it's a Bartolini preamp, so it's just singular mid.
Okay,
But you can sweep where the mids are though.
Okay, so that's another one in that as well.
But that's stacked as well, so that's not a switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the switch is what I'm going to do is one's active passive. Two of them are
Coil
going
split.
two coil splits, yeah.
Yeah.
One for each, and one's just going to be a kill switch.
Oh, cool.
That's what I'm
Okay.
thinking anyway, because like my 7-string bass has a kill switch in, and it's
Yeah.
really useful actually. Because people say, "Oh, but you've got a volume knob." Yeah, but what if I've got everything set perfectly, but I just
Yeah.
don't want to play for a minute?
Yeah, exactly. You mean you're not? I don't think people think. I think let me get it out. I think people are thinking you got to do the Ace Frehley kind of like kill switch thing, and that's
Oh
not what you. That's not where we're going
no,
with this.
not like Tom Morello, but on bass. Although I suppose I could. No, I'm not going to, but I could. No. Bartolini's can have a filter switch, but I don't want that. So that's not going to be one.
It'll
Also,
look nice when it's done.
Oh, yeah.
yes. The other thing is that Bartolini, and I talked to Bartolini last week, they are 8 to 12 weeks behind on everything.
Wow.
So what I'm probably going to do is Bass Direct in London have some Bartolini preamps that are ready built, ready made in stock. So I'm just going to order the most appropriate one and then get Jack to mod it.
Yeah.
Because
That's probably got to be the best way of doing it.
yeah, the only mods then would be kill switch and coil taps, and the coil taps would be before the preamp and the kill switch would be after the preamp. So I wouldn't actually be modding any of the Bartolini stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that means that I can get everything from jazz bass sounds through to like Music Man sounds through to all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. And this thing, like I said, is so bright. The strings on here are dead. I mean, absolutely dead. But if I just play...
Yeah.
You can probably hear that fairly clearly because it's it's a loud instrument. Nobody makes guitars out of solid maple because they reckon it's far too bright. What do we like in modern metal? Bright.
Well, exactly.
If I don't have to add it afterwards with an EQ or a switch, I'm laughing.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to sound a lot more organic as well. You're not putting things that aren't there.
Absolutely, you can play into it a lot better.
Mm.
I'm just gonna put that down. There we go. So yeah, considering that I've traded up over the years, in my little office now I've got 2 guitars where the top is a single piece of quilted maple. It's getting ridiculous. Like I've gone, oh Jesus, like this Tremonti is twice as heavy as that bass as well. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. This is twice as heavy, and it's not made out of maple.
We're going Les Paul heavy kind of feel.
Yeah, well, the Tremonti is basically a modernized Les Paul.
Yeah.
Which is great. But yeah, the bass is surprisingly light for what it is.
Mm.
Surprisingly light.
Awesome.
But yeah, like I say, it doesn't play very well now. You might have seen me struggling slightly to play that because the action is so high, because the neck has got such a bad bow and the truss rod is out of action.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing I'm going to do in the morning. Then I'm going to film another unboxing video because I've got a ton of boxes. Because I've been ordering little things again. Ooh.
Naughty Adam.
No, it's good. I need them all for work. I need every single one of them. Like,
I swear.
Yeah. I just got myself a slider for B-roll, but a motorized slider.
Well, why not?
But it's got a feature on it where the head pans automatically.
Oh, so you got the detection.
No,
kind of
it's simpler than that. It's a couple of levers on this thing, so that I don't entirely know. I've not played with it yet, but the idea is depending on how you pull these levers, either it'll do like a straight pan, or it can be pointed left on the left and just kind of fan out like like a water sprinkler, or it can go the other way and it can be pointed inwards, and then so it'll stay focused on the thing in the middle.
Right. Okay.
Which means that I can do all my B-roll shots. So all the cool shots of the nice new gear that comes in, they're not going to be shaky anymore because I can put the camera on the slider and press a button. and just be
Yeah.
like, go.
Exactly. So why not?
Yeah. You, electronics, take a nice video for me. I'm going to go make a coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine when I come back.
Yeah.
Can you get it to do laps and just do like a time lapse for you?
That'd be rather nice.
You just
Oh.
leave it going around for a few hours. Be fine.
Well, actually, you say that, but I also got a separate little miniature slider thing that's also motorized. That's like a skate dolly.
Oh, cool.
Doesn't come with the track, but it's motorized.
So it's a little RC car.
Yeah,
with a
pretty
camera
much.
on it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm playing with new toys recently, and like I just got myself a cheap new lens because
Cool.
I've now got a Lumix GH3 in the live room because
Nice.
they're going so cheap. It's
You got
ridiculous.
Lumix, haven't you?
Yeah.
Which one's yours?
Oh, mine's. Which one is it? Mine's the. It's not. It's the travel indestructible one. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
I don't know about indestructible.
It's one of them. Joe, they advertise it because surviving like minus 10 degrees and
Oh yeah.
something crazy like that.
Yeah, when they
Really-
put little
really nice.
disclaimer text at the bottom of the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole. It's got the battery compartment that has like a waterproof toggle on it as well and stuff like that. It's a bit crazy, but
Yeah.
why not?
Overbuilt. Yeah, overbuilt is
Yeah.
good. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
the GH3 is technically so out of date now. I found one on eBay that had a slight problem that I had no bearing on video at all. And so
Oh, right.
for 140 quid, I got a GH3, which is like the 1080 version of the GH4.
What was the problem with it?
Something to do with the shutter sticking,
Oh,
which is, yeah, for photos, that's a problem. But for a video guy, it's like, whatever.
yeah, exactly.
And so, yeah,
You'll be fine.
I've just got myself a 9mm lens for Micro Four Third. So, like, really wide. So I can stick it right at the back of the live room and see everything that's going on
Wow.
in one shot. So that's going to be one of the cameras that's on the live streams.
Yeah, so that's going to be one of your options is your live room, and it's got to be a full live room.
The full, yeah, exactly. So now eventually I'll have a camera 5, which I'll be focusing on whatever's happening. But that's long term because, for that, I want a nice camera. Nice cameras cost a lot more money.
Yeah.
And yeah, getting a bargain here and there, I can kind of, snipe a little bargain here and there, but big costs, not so much. Although I did get turned on to a very cool thing by John from Monuments, which is if you're needing a really, really nice video camera, Lumix GX80.
Oh, yeah.
The GX80 is it looks almost like a compact,
Yeah.
but it does 4K video and it's the sharpest thing you've ever seen, and it's got a Micro Four Third mount.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you can put whatever lens on it you like and it'll do 4K crisp. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the Lumix I've got, or Panasonic, it's essentially that, but without the 4/3 adapter.
Right.
So it's just like the flat compact thing, but it's a 4K camera.
Right. So the GX80 will be like just the next tier up from that.
Yeah.
I think it was the 50.
Yeah, I think it is. Is it
Right.
50 or something like that.
Something like that.
So yeah, that's it. If you can find one on eBay, yeah, you're off.
Definitely.
Because then you get all the stuff that you've got on that GX50, if it is a GX50, but you can put funky lenses on, so you get the real nice. Yeah. So that's my hot tip that I learnt this week.
Nice.
Oh, God, these headphones are making me sweat. There's a definite downside to these VSX headphones, and that's that they fit so well that my ears just cook.
I did not. It's not even like a sense of breaking them in. It's just because the close back.
Yeah, it's
And then
just
finish
that.
just.
And I'm in the same room as the boiler, so if it gets even slightly warm with these on,
Yeah.
oh boy. So yeah,
Wow.
these for mixing are a ton better than the 650s. which is surprising.
Mm.
Listening now, it sounds weird because my voice through this sounds a bit muffled. You guys sound a little bit muffled.
Yeah.
It just seems to be the way the headphones are without the correction on.
Right,
But
yeah.
then with the inbuilt correction when you're using it through, because there isn't like a Sonar Works for Windows or for OS X. It's just it's in Logic or Pro Tools or whatever or nothing.
Yeah. Right,
There-
so it has to be going through something first.
Yeah, to do the magic linear clever stuff. Yeah, they work fine without, but it's not what I would call like hi-fi.
Yeah. I'm surprised there isn't a standalone. Well, at least not yet.
Not yet. That's the thing. They only came out, what, 2 weeks ago? There have been lots of demands for stuff, and Slate himself has dropped little hints of, we're on it, we're doing this, we're doing that.
Yeah.
All good time.
Absolutely.
Well,
Maybe
is
they'll
it
get
just
more.
like-
Maybe they'll get more done before Black Friday. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. God knows how much less people are going to pay than what I paid, which I'll be slightly miffed at. But
See, what do you think Black Friday's gonna be like in this current climate, audio-wise?
good question. I reckon it's going to be fairly busy. Actually, it's going to be fairly brisk because, as much as everyone's at home right now, or at least a lot of people have gone back to work, but a lot of people are still at home clawing the walls. There are a lot of people out of work, but there are as many people who are not out of work. And those people are not going on holiday. They're not spending money. They've got money burning a hole in their pocket. And so for every person who's in an unfortunate situation and completely understandably won't be buying anything on Black Friday for good reasons, there's another person who will be like, shut up and take my money, like the Fry meme.
Yeah.
I do that for Christmas presents.
Yeah, and I've looked at, because we have like the stuff with Two Notes, and we sell courses with Pro Mix Academy, that kind of stuff. I looked at the sales for the last month or so, and it's been really quiet because Black Friday's coming and everybody knows it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just something that gets dropped on us now. We know the storm is coming.
Yeah. Plus, the other thing is Black Friday every year has become more and more online. And because of everything that's happened, everything is currently online. So if any of the retail companies have got any brains about them, they'll be getting extra servers. They'll be getting backup servers. They'll be preparing for a flood of people trying to buy everything.
One of the, it's not music related, but one of the makeup brands I buy, they brought out a palette with Shane Dawson.
Okay.
And it broke their servers in the UK, Europe, America. Everything went down completely.
Yeah, not surprised.
And that's just for an eyeshadow palette.
Exactly, but what I thought was interesting in that is that it wasn't necessarily just the website that broke. It was actually the Shopify.
Which was probably hosted on Amazon Web Servers on the same service because they didn't. But that's the thing, companies that haven't done something like that before always get the problems of like the website goes down, where generally speaking, bigger companies have already had that happen to them. At least once.
We've seen it with Game, Joe, when they first did Black Friday years ago. That broke. And, we'll probably see it
Trying
again.
to get a Wii U.
Oh, God, yeah. Trying to get the Wii U or the Black Friday sales that year was just impossible. And I think we'll see that kind of thing again.
Yeah.
And like you said, because more people are going to be at home, this is where they're going to be doing it.
I'm going to be sat at my work desk with my laptop and the iPad at the side of me.
Yeah.
Where, yep. Bye. Yep. Bye.
And I think it's got to be a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
What's that Marty's put? 55-inch TV at Walmart.
$149.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I wonder if Asda are doing something similar, because I could have one of those for the live room as a business expense.
We'll talk about that tomorrow, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah,
But
that's
it's-
another industry that's just completely changed over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like TV industry, it's just
What we've just bought one for Christmas for Reese,
yeah.
and it's got SCART, 4 HDMIs,
2 USB, SD.
it's got a VG.
Yeah, a VGA on
Right.
it, and then what was it? The Type something audio. It was like a format that was around for like 2 years or something.
That's weird. I mean,
Yeah,
at the start of the lockdown, we got a new TV which had the bare bones on it. But one thing it had that nothing else that I've ever seen before is it had a satellite input.
Yeah, that's on there.
yeah,
Yeah. So our house has a Sky dish because we never used it, but it's there. So I just kind of dragged the cable over and hooked it up, and it works.
But
So we get all the free satellite channels.
But the
sorry.
prices for telly, like that telly we got him,
It was 130 quid.
Wow.
it's nothing. And then we were looking at like Joe 42-inch, 180.
No, it was
Yeah.
150 for the 42.
Oh, the
And
55.
55-inch was like 209, and then they were up to a 70-inch for like 400 quid.
Yeah, well, that's the prices do start to do that.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons that you get a lot of stuff cheap, especially on Black Friday, is that the companies will make X thousand of this product, X thousand of that product, and they don't know which ones are actually going to sell the best. So it's the ones that sell the best, great. The ones that don't, Black Friday, get rid.
Yeah.
Get them out
Exactly.
because it costs them more to keep them sat in a warehouse than it does to sell them cheap.
Exactly. So if you can clear your whole stockroom for the next year,
Yeah.
well, why not?
I worked at Game on a Black Friday. It was the first Black Friday game I'd ever done, and I was in store. And at the end of the day, we opened at 7 in the morning.
Right.
We closed at 10 at night. There was literally nothing left.
Wow.
People were just coming in, buying things that they thought was in the sale that weren't in the sale, and didn't even care because they thought they were getting a great bargain.
People are
I've just seen that.
stupid. Hello to the Bumble in
Honestly.
chat, completely unrelated.
Hi, Bumble!
Yes. Oh God, yeah. I mean, I'm going to be keeping some very close eyes out for Black Friday bargains, and I think I'm going to do a Black Friday video on Black Friday of all the bargains that are in the tech and music tech world.
Yeah.
I think that would be really smart.
Yeah.
And
I mean, some
Black Friday is not just Friday anymore.
no,
Cyber
it's the
Monday,
entire
don't forget.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
so-
companies, I think, though, this year, some companies are either not going to get involved or not going to be as deep discount as you think, because these are the companies where their products are incredibly in demand and are massively on back order. There's no reason for those companies, especially on those products, to give deep discounts because they were going to sell their stuff anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's where, like, the first year that Slate did the ML1 Black Friday, I reckon what happened is, like, they were selling the microphone full price for, I think it was $800 before that, but they'd only made so many. I don't know whether they made 10,000, 20,000, however many it was at that price to ship worldwide. They then knew it was a product that sold. They knew it was then a tried and tested product. So then they make a phone call to China and go, I'll have 150,000.
Yeah.
I'm making numbers up here, but it scales with economy. When you order something in that big a price, you get discounts.
Yeah,
So that
exactly.
it would have cost them less per unit to get them made. And then they sold them all at $499 on Black Friday. And apparently they pretty much sold out worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah. So however, I mean, I'm making all the numbers up for however many they ordered, but I know how business works. I can't be that far off.
No, exactly.
They'll have made a set number for the first run. If it didn't sell very well, that's okay. Just, slowly sell them over time, full price, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's fairly easy to comprehend that you're launching a product for the first time. you're not going to order 150,000 because you're not really sure what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So, yeah, test the water first and then kind of go, oh, okay.
Yeah. But then as well, software is completely the other way around because software has no inherent production cost. So software is a weird one because it's like the whole Steam sale thing. Steam sales have proven time and time again with hard numbers that you can sell a game for $30 and make a bit of money. You sell the same game for $3, you will make a lot more money as long as you don't do it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you do it all the time, your product is just worth $3 and therefore is almost worthless.
Exactly.
But if your product is year-round priced at $30 and then occasionally dips right down, everybody scrambles to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. It goes back to, do you want to sell it to one person for £30 or do you want to sell it to 6 people for $5?
Yes, and end up making, well, or sell it to 12 people for $5. That's the thing. That's how Black Friday works.
Yeah.
That's how Black Friday works because then
what Poo Ninjas just said is like very accurate.
2 weeks before you raise the price to 40% and then Black Friday mark it down by 35.
Yeah, well, that's business.
What do you mean 2 weeks before? You mean right from the off raise the price 40%? That's how you do it. Hello, Benj in chat. Yes, unfortunately, my friend, you are rather late. I mean, we're running over massively, but yeah, we're talking about Black Friday. So on that Friday, I'll do a live stream. 27th, stick it in your calendar. I mean, if you see a bargain before I do, great. But I'll be spending probably the early part of that day scouring for bargains, make a big list. However many of them I can turn into affiliate links as possible, great. But if not, I'll still send them over to you anyway because a bargain's a bargain.
Yeah. Well, even when you're live, if someone finds a new deal,
put it in the chat.
Yeah. Share them around. Why not? Right, Chances are, if you find a really good deal and share it with me, I'll buy it.
Oh, yes.
Although, I have to say, I mean, being completely candid for a minute, my life in tech has changed over the last year quite a bit because it used to be that I was very much in the same boat as everybody else. When a sale comes along, I jump on it and I buy it. Because what I do now is I'm essentially a full-time YouTube gear reviewer. It's a bit different that I get an idea in my head that I want to work with a piece of gear. I tend to contact the company first, and half the time they send me the product on the condition that I then do a video talking about it and explaining it, which sometimes costs me more in terms of time than if I just bought the damn thing, but I'm learning that.
Well, but this is where you are as a business. It's not a business for, I need this to make this product sound good. Your whole business is you. It's you. That's the product.
Yeah, and then asking the questions for the public. Does this sound good? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a change in what your role is in the industry, really.
Yes. Marty's asking, will my amazing Reaper course also be Black Friday'd? I can't confirm because I need to talk to Warren, but I would have assumed so. I think so. Which, again, we're 4 weeks away from Black Friday. I may as well say it because it's not going to be a secret at this point. Like I said, I haven't talked to Warren, so I don't have 100% confirmation, but I would have thought so. I mean, that's, like I said, that's what happens with software companies. Sales are going to just go down, down, and down for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Then Black Friday's going to hit.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to get a percentage of people who need whatever the thing is now. But beyond that percentage, most of us are smart. You know, we'll wait a few weeks, even on something that's a bit of an impulse buy, if we know it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
Because that's how human nature works. Most of us have got a small eye for bargains, even though you can use that to your own advantage. And, like you said, with the whole game store thing, which is essentially GameStop in the US, you can set someone in like a honey trap by putting signs outside that say bargain, bargain, bargain. But if you've actually got half a brain in you, you walk in, you look around and you go, this is not bargains, and you walk out again.
Yeah, no. Really, no. The best deal we had on was the brand new Call of Duty for 30 quid. At the time, I can't remember, I think it was Black Ops 3. Might have been earlier. And that went within an hour, and people still thought they could come in and just buy it and get all the games, and it's just...
I think that's an interesting one, is you're pushing for the Black Ops, but the other stuff they grab as well.
Yeah, because they think, oh, that's a good deal, and it really isn't, because...
Yeah, exactly. So I guess you kind of see that in software as well. It's like, oh, well, this is 50%. Well, while I'm here, I'll just grab this little thing as well.
Yeah, I've done that a few times with Waves plugins. Coming back to our title.
There you go.
Yeah. A few months ago now, I was looking for one particular Waves plugin, which I know I like. Ended up getting a second one, and then it wasn't going to cost much more to upgrade what I had to the Horizon bundle.
There it is.
So I did that.
I used to call it the Apple effect.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So because Apple's store, you buy it and they go, oh well, do you want the bigger hard drive for an extra 80 quid? Yeah, I'll do that. Do you want a wireless printer? Yeah, sure. Do I want this? No, but yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh God, what have I done?
You end up walking out with one of those. You walk out with a troll, like one of those lean back trolleys, going, "Oh no."
Exactly. Yeah, I used to call it the Apple effect. I think it's a more, maybe this is very British, the B&M effect. No one goes into B&M for a certain thing. You just come out and you spent 40 quid.
No. The thing with B&M is you don't know what you're going in for until you get in there and B&M tells you what you're buying.
There it is. That's marketing.
It's hard to translate. There are equivalent stores in the US, but it's like the big store, the big box store, but it's like the cheap big box store. And you go in and you're like, what am I even here for? And you walk out with 3 or 4 bags of stuff.
I did that with him the other week. I went, we need to go B&M. He went, what for? I went, I don't know. I know when I'm in there. I got 2 boxes of cereal bars, socks, candles, bedding set. And he went, did we actually need this? I went, nope. They just told me what I needed.
Oh God,
I spent £40 on nothing.
It's Major Prometheus said Costco. It's not quite Costco, because Costco, you do go in for one thing, but it's 100 of thing. Yeah. And you come out with 300 or 400 of thing and 12 bagels.
We go.
That reminds me, we need toilet roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to eat something?
Exactly. His mum goes to Costco and she went, "Oh, I've got you some tea bags," and you want to see the size of this tea bag. It's like this big. It's huge.
Yeah, I did that.
Tea bags.
What the?
I've got one of them at the studio. I had a bit of a mad moment. I decided that because I'm always running out of like tea bags or coffee or whatever, I went on Amazon and got a big load of tea bags. A big load of like the single-use hotel milks and a big load of shakers of sugar and stuff. And the tea bags turned up, and it's like you can use it for weightlifting. It's like a sack of tea bags.
Yeah.
Why have you bought? You drink coffee.
He doesn't drink tea.
The idea was that for the long term, when clients come in, I'm not out of anything.
No, you've always got something there.
Exactly, because it's always embarrassing when I have clients come in and it's like, oh, I haven't got any milk. Or that kind of thing where it's like,
yeah,
oh, I've got milk. I've got sugar. I've got coffee. I've got tea. From now until the end of time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But yeah.
That massive jar of coffees you got us.
Yeah.
It was like, how much did it weigh? Like 2 kilogram of coffee.
Oh yeah, I can go through that in no time at all. I now have
Yes, okay.
I have a coffee subscription where a kilo of coffee turns up every month, and we still run out just before the new one arrives.
Oh, I saw Mickey's Instagram post about that.
Yeah, so
Those are coffee snobs.
I started doing that just because we burn through it. And because of the whole COVID thing, Mickey's back working at home. She's now got her set up in our office, which if I just turn the camera, turn. There we go. So she's got her like dual screened thing over there, which is taking up her art space. Now stay.
See.
There we go.
See, we're technically in your office at the moment.
We are, yep. I can show you my little home office. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Don't know if you can see.
Right a bit. Yeah, you can see that.
That's my little home office.
Yeah, due to the wonders of this camera lens that you've seen it through, it looks like you just stared down a really big office. But in truth, if I lean over, I can touch those screens that you just saw, and I can touch the curtains on the other side with my elbow. So, yeah, this is not a big office. God, my phone's going bananas. It's been the weirdest week. That it's Lens Week this week. Glenn Fricker has been talking to me about lenses all week, which is a bit weird. Then John Brown from Monuments has been talking to me about lenses and buying lenses, and now my phone's going crazy with Henning Pauly talking about lenses.
Oh,
Jesus Christ, guys. Yeah.
You need a camera YouTube channel next.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. It's so here's the setup that I suggested for this person. None of them are quite paying attention though, because it's like, should I have a live setup or should I just go separate cameras? And no matter which one I say to each person, they always go with the opposite. So, yeah,
you can lead a camel to water.
You can't make it drink.
Exactly.
you can lead a camel to water, but you can't make it a horse. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's probably a good place to end this stream.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I need to now upload this to iTunes and Spotify so that people can listen to us rambling for 2 hours.
Oh, God, yes.
And
Yeah, it's been fun.
yeah, it's been good fun. Thank you guys for coming on. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you for letting me join, considering I know naff all about audio stuff. I just think things look pretty.
I think that's the next series.
What, things that look pretty?
No, Adam teaching you audio.
No.
Oh, no.
See, even Adam went, no.
No, YouTube doesn't like violence on screen.
If we just make what Adam, stop that.
God, no, not doing this.
No, bye, Adam.
Yeah. Every time you accidentally mansplain, I will punch you in the arm. Yeah.
Oh,
Episode 2, Adam has one arm. Yeah.
watch it, though.
You'd watch it.
Well, you do like horror films.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yes.
Right.
Thank you,
We're not
everybody, for
keep
tuning in. Look at the Patreon, subscribe, like, share, blah, 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 blah. Buy the things, do the
Discord
things.
as well.
Discord link will be in chat if you want to talk to us all afterwards, because we're all in there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next week, and with more videos in the meantime. Goodbye!
Bye.
Hey, everyone. That might be the end of the video, but if you fancy carrying on this conversation, we have a Discord server. Link is in the description. We're also on Patreon, which is something you can really help us with. We also are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hot Pole Studios. See you there.